everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video, we are back already with another preview slash prediction video because you remember when we all looked at that month block that made all our bums play the drums for Jumanji. We went, that is make or break. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has started and the games are coming thick and fast. But before we go any further on with today's video, there is a couple of thank yous I want to give. The first one is going to be to the channel sponsor OneFootball. They have been absolute legends and they're really helping the channel out, so thank you so much to them. As always, the link will be down there in the description below and it doesn't cost you a single penny. But the other thank you I need to give is the more important one in my personal opinion. Sorry OneFootball, but the nation always comes first, and thank you so much for all the support recently. It's been absolutely amazing. We are absolutely rocking it towards 36,000 subscribers, and that's all down to your support, so thank you from me to thee. But there is an old football game to talk about, so let's dive in and talk about it. And as always, we're going to be starting off with the old opposition preview, and the opposition for tomorrow's game just happens to be Aberdeen away from home midweek, a couple days before a cup final. That is tremendous, lads. Thank you so much. Could we not have been given a home tie versus Hamilton? Nah. It had to be Aberdeen away. Cool. But anyway, back to the old Aberdeen then, shall we? Going into this game of football, McInnes has found himself in a bit of hot water from the old Aberdeen fans because of a certain statement he made just a couple days ago. And this is what McInnes had to say before Aberdeen welcome Rangers at home. Both Rangers and Celtic are playing at such a good level at the moment. Rangers are a better team than us. They've got better players. But we can win the game. And it's important that my players believe that. End freaking quote. Now we all know McInnes likes to stay in his little bubble and he's terrified to ever leave it. That's his little safe space. And hell, I even call him a cuck from time to time because the way he sets up in big games. But even I was surprised that McInnes, on the eve of Rangers coming to Cottage, so blatantly saying that Rangers not only have a better team, but they have better individual players. I mean, he's no lying, but at the same time, he didn't come out and say that. That's just something that isn't done. And the Aberdeen fans have let their wrath be known since this interview came out from McInnes. They are an angry mob right now and absolutely furious about his mindset on the eve of this game. And as you can imagine, as soon as the media got the old wind of that, they asked the players what do they think about their manager not really rating them against the opposition. And if I'm honest with you, they all kind of came out and defended McInnes, including Scott McKenna, who says that's not what he meant. He was meaning more so on a financial and a budget style thing. That apparently is what McInnes meant by those words that I just read out a couple minutes ago, even though he didn't mention any moolah at all during that old statement. But Scott McKenna went on to say he believes man to man that's going to be lining up for tomorrow's game are capable of getting a result tomorrow versus Rangers. And speaking of result, by the way, we can't do an Aberdeen Rangers preview if it obviously mentioned the previous time that they've played so far this season. Well, they've met once and Rangers absolutely took them to the cleaners and didn't even offer to pay for it. It was so one-sided. It was a 5-0 gone on 7-8-9. Whatever Rangers wanted it to be, they could have done it. And at the end of the game, McInnes was out there blaming everything apart from himself. He was even putting the blame on the youngsters who apparently didn't take their chance or done their job versus Rangers. But coming into this game of football, we need to put that memory to one side and narrow in and get focused, because this is an Aberdeen team that's not playing well. I'm not going to lie to you and try and talk them up. They aren't playing good football throughout the entire game, but what they are doing right now is sticking together and grinding out results and doing it the hard way. And a perfect example of that is the most recent game versus St Mirren. They were absolutely all over the place in that game of football, allowing St Mirren to pass round them, create opportunities on goal. But did they get beat? Not. Once again, they were dug out by their big players in their team. I'm talking about your Joe Lewis's, who was outstanding, saving those chances that was so easily created by the gaping defence. And not only that, he made a fantastic late penalty save and then got up and saved the rebound. He is always a dangerous player to play against because on his day, he's outstanding. You had Niall McGinn absolutely running the show, in my personal opinion, but we're going to speak about him a little bit later on regarding the old team news. And obviously the other big one, the big three for Aberdeen, in my personal opinion, is Sam Cosgrove. The man just cannot stop scoring, whether it's left foot, right foot, in the air or outside the box. He's doing it all right now. And that right there is what makes Aberdeen such a dangerous team to play, because they didn't need to play well to win. They've got the danger men, they've got the game changers that can create anything out of nothing to make it difficult on any given day. So I'm not buying into this, oh, it's going to be a walkover, because this Aberdeen team isn't as impressive as it has been over the last couple of seasons. They're sticking together and they're grinding out results. And let's be honest, they're not going to be as open as they were against St Mirren. We all know the script. They're going to tighten up. They're going to play part the bus. They're going to play negative hammer throwing tactics and playing to their big man up top. You know they always raise their game against Rangers. I know people didn't like to say that in the media, but we all know for a fact Aberdeen will be raring to go for this game. Now, before we wrap up the old preview on the old Aberdeen side of things, a little bit of team news to help you with your predictions later on. Bryson is definitely ruled out of the game, confirmed by Derek McInnes, and Niall McGinn, who we just mentioned has been one of those game changers and one of their best players who's on a good run of form right now, may just be missing this game of football. As Derek McKenna said, it might just be a little bit too soon for him, given the knock that he received at the weekend. And with all that being said, that's the old preview for the Aberdeen side done and dusted. Now it's time to turn our attention to what we love most, and that is Rangers Football Club. And as you can imagine, during this week's official Rangers press conference, which you can find in the entirety on the Rangers YouTube channel, they spent the majority of it asking about Sunday, which is absolutely tremendous. Even after Gerrard said several times in the interview that he's here to talk about Aberdeen, his focus is on Aberdeen. They only wanted to talk about Sunday. However, in the midst of how crap the media actually are, it gave us a little insight, and Gerrard said several times that he is not viewing this game as a potential resting period for some of these players. He knows the importance of playing his best team possible against Aberdeen, because again, this is league football, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not in such a blessed position that we can take games off. No. Every game's a battle, every game's a fight, and Gerrard's taking it one game at a time. So his full focus, and that's coming from Gerrard himself, is on Aberdeen. It's no on Sunday. So I think based on how assured Gerrard was with his words about the full focus being on Aberdeen, I don't expect whole squad changes. I'm not expecting Greg Dockery, Edmondson or Matt Polster to be given a chance to shine tomorrow. I'm expecting pretty much the best 11 that we have, minus a couple of players just rested or exchanged just for fitness reasons, kind of like what we saw versus Hearts at the weekend. And that leads me perfectly to the first question of the episode, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to know your thoughts and opinions on, because you think back to the most recent games versus Aberdeen where we have been very, very successful, and one of the ways we have been very, very successful besides the attacking play and everything like that is defensively. We have kept Sam Cosgrove pretty much irrelevant in the last couple of games, and the man who has done that has been sitting on the bench lately. You think about it, Cottage has matched him physical stride for physical stride in the air, every game that we have bet Aberdeen, but he's not playing. Hollander seems to be the first choice centre back. So the question you already know, do you bring Cottage back in there to put him up against Cosgrove? And while you guys are hopefully sharing your opinion, I will give you mine very, very briefly. I personally think this is going to be one of the changes that is made ahead of the game tomorrow, not only for everything we've talked about in the past experience Cottage has with Sam Cosgrove, but just thinking of Hollander, given how many games he's played recently, they're coming thick and fast for him, and given that long period where he wasn't playing, I think tomorrow is the perfect opportunity to give him a little bit of rest ahead of the final on Sunday. That's my personal opinion, and again, I'll be very interested to know what you think on the old Cottage-Hollander debate versus Aberdeen. But back to the old press conference then, shall we? And something I found very interesting, and I think you guys will be as well, is regarding Steven Gerrard and how he sees this midweek fixture before the cup final, because let's be honest with you, a lot of people have slaughtered the fact that there is a midweek fixture before a cup final. Not even just from the Rangers end, there's people slaughtering it on the Celtic end as well, given the fact that there is a game a couple of days before a cup final. However, Steven Gerrard said from his own personal playing experience and knowing the players and everything like that going into games, he actually prefers it this way, and he doesn't see it as a negative, because he's went through a week or even a couple of weeks before a cup final, and obviously the build up, the news, the focus is absolutely everywhere, and given the fact that there is a long wait, that can sometimes be a bit of a distraction. But given the fact that we have a midweek fixture to focus on completely, actually is a benefit, because they do that job, then they switch the focus, and they've got a couple of days before the cup final, rather than a long wait that they can get distracted or even lose focus. That was a bit of a surprise. I'd have thought it would have been better with a longer wait, but Gerrard calls it the perfect preparation for a cup final is this game versus Aberdeen, a tough opposition as well. Now, before we wrap up, there is a couple of things I want to mention very, very briefly that I found quite funny about the interview, because the media asked him, has he ever seen or been involved in a game a couple of days before a cup final, and he thought back and went, aye, in my younger days I played in an FA Cup final, then I played in a European final. And the media asked, how did that go? He went, I won them both, and I went on to win the treble. Honestly, sometimes I need to pinch myself that this man is our manager. He is absolutely incredible. He just controls the media, and these smirk everything like that. He led them down that path to ask that question, and just seeing it connect, you could see his snigger and his smirk. It went exactly the way he wanted it to. And with that being said, that's the old press conference recapped, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to turn our attention to some latest team news. And the smiles just fade for a brief little moment because unfortunately we have a new injury to talk about, and it's to a man who's been fighting back from a previous injury, and that is Jordan Jones. However, the only good news regarding this is it's not a major or a massive step back. It's only listed as a minor little problem with his quad that's going to rule him out for the next 1 to 2 matches, Steven Gerrard says. So that's very, very unfortunate. It looked like he was going to be back for the final, but hearing what Gerrard said, it pretty much rules him out unless this is mind games. And last but not least, everyone else is fully fit and ready to go for tomorrow's match, including Jermaine Defoe, who's been struggling with a slight problem. Gerrard has confirmed he is at 100%, so we may just see him tomorrow. And with that being said, that is the old press conference, that is the preview, and that is the latest team news wrapped up in a neat little bow. Now it's time to turn our attention to some predictions, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to know what you think about this game tomorrow. Now you know a little bit more about the fixture, and while you guys are sharing your opinion, I will give you mine very, very briefly. I'm expecting a tough, hard-fought battle. I'd love to see loads of goals, but I just do not see it happening. I see a Rangers 2, Aberdeen 0 victory. My goal scorers are going to be Alfredo Morelos and Jermaine Defoe. A dirty double for the strikers. And now it's time for one of my favourite parts in every single video. It's heading over to the people on Twitter and hearing what they've had to say. There's been 1,318 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 4% votes for draw, 4% votes for Aberdeen, but the far and away winner, when 93% of the vote, is a Rangers away win. So let's see what the people's had to say then, shall we? Ross Watson is first in, and he writes in 3-1, Kent, Tav and Alfredo Morelos. Fires Akram actually backs him up there, and he goes 3-1 as well. Jack, Stewart and Kent to get the goals. I think they're going to see Stewarty tomorrow, if I'm being honest with you. Deacon New writes in 3-0 to the Glasgow Rangers. Alfie dirty double, and Ryan Jack to silence the sheep. That would be scrum dilly-umptious. Lucy of Ibrox writes in, I've got to say 5-0 again to Rangers. We are on fire. No one in the league can touch us, with Morelos popping dirty doubles away every game. But I'm going to go with an Alfie hat-trick and a Kent double. Stuart Ward also writes in Rangers 3-1. Tavernier, Morelos and Ryan Jack. I'm going to be honest with you lads, I'm really struggling to read out the tweets because Rocky Boy Johnson, who's right down there, has let one go and it's absolutely putrid. Honestly, my eyes are burning. My eyes are burning. Molly writes in 4-0, Jack, Stewart, Morelos and Kent. Danny Taylor writes in 3-0, rarely picked the score, but was the first score to pop into my head. Morelos double and a Kent goal. Bro. Jude writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Dino writes in a strong away performance, 4-1, Defoe double, Alfredo and Captain Tavernier with a penalty. Chrissy Ladyweed writes in 4-0 to the Bears. And the last 2 or 3 that we'll read out, the first one comes in from Stephen Brown, and he writes in 3-0 to Rangers, Morelos, Tav and Greg Stewart. Andrew Bluebells writes in 3-0 as well. He goes with Kent, Morelos and Ryan Jack, whoever. And the last one we'll read out, as my eyes are still burning, scroll all the way down there, we'll stop it right here, and it actually comes from Dave Hutchison, and he writes in Morelos and Kent with a 2-0 Rangers win. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. But before we wrap up today's video, as always, a massive thank you for spending a little bit of your day watching today's video. I will see you tomorrow, and bye.